So, Lindsay, we have to talk
Yes.
because I'm gonna need you to change your schedule of your work schedule because
Why?
I've been really wanting to play Terraria, and
Oh.
you keep fucking bitching out on me, being like, I have to go to work, I have to make money, I have to get a free expensive dinner. I just want to kill the wall of flesh. That's all I want.
You're so
We got
inconsiderate.
up to the wall of flesh, and then I said, well, I guess I need to go be a professional. Sorry, you're on your own.
No, yeah, Lindsay and I have been playing Terraria because that game fucking rules.
I really should buy it.
Dude, it goes on sale for like $250
I know.
every year.
Do
Yeah, he somehow
This
doesn't
man
own a
has never
copy of
played
it.
it?
He's never played Terraria.
No. I
You
know.
can get it for like $2.
Constantly.
I
You
know.
even love the community episode that inspired the creation of the game.
I do. I just watched the episode like 2 days ago too.
Yeah.
I just like I got so much on my plate. Every time there's a Steam sale, like I buy more shit.
Yeah,
and then
and none of them has ever been Terraria.
no,
One
but
of
like
the best-selling games
but
on
the
Steam.
recent one had every single Final Fantasy for like half off. So like I bought all of them.
That's a lot of Final Fantasies.
It is, but I already got through everything.
But they're clearly not the Final Fantasies if there's that many of them.
I actually know the
I
story. I know the story behind the name of Final Fantasy. The dude, what's the dude's name?
It's fucking
Japanese man.
Japanese
Japan.
man. It's Ueda? No, sorry, I'm a
The
bad
creator of
Final
Final Fantasy. He was
Sakaguchi.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
He was a game dev for quite a while before he made Final Fantasy, and I believe his mother was very sick, and so he was paying out of pocket essentially for all of her medical bills and becoming destitute. And all of the games that he worked on failed, and so he basically had like one last shot to make a game, or else his mom was gonna die and he was gonna be poor as shit. And so it was his Final Fantasy, and it fucking exploded in popularity.
Yeah.
So the name just
I
kind of
wasn't
stuck.
expecting that to be
Like so wholesome and sweet.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
that is part of the the tale of Final Fantasy. But also, it wasn't originally going to be called Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it was. I forget what the.
It was
original
supposed
one
to be
was.
called Fighting Fantasy.
Fighting Fantasy.
But somebody already had the name to that.
Heh.
Yeah.
What about Phantasy Star Online? Did you guys ever play Phantasy Star?
Never. Don't even know what it
No.
is.
I don't think I've ever even seen footage of Phantasy Star, and it's like wildly popular.
Wait, isn't that the one where it's a game that like they keep updating that it's gonna come out, and it like
No, that's Star Citizen.
Star Citizen, okay.
Which looks cool, but I tried Elite Dangerous and I wasn't super into it, but I didn't try that long.
Oh.
The mechanics are just like slightly too complex for me. Where I'm like, I just want to be a space trucker. I don't need to know how to do like aileron rolls.
Oh, I would probably love it. I realized while playing all those Final Fantasy games, I love complicated fighting systems.
Well, this would just fly in the damn ship.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I do have some beverages, by the way, over here, Adrian.
I was going to ask
haven't popped
about
these
that
beverages.
because like you usually give me a choice before we start recording.
So I purchased these beverages last night and didn't really think about it until I was putting them in the lunchbox where I was like, wow, these are some fucking enormous beverages.
Yo.
They are pretty large. Wait, that can looks like
Yeah.
it has an orange on it?
Yeah.
It's
Oh, you
a
have
peach
lots.
mango.
Yeah, so I got that one specifically for you. Yeah, this is Lindsay, you can see on our cameras here. Here's a monster next to it.
Yeah, monsters are usually pretty big by default too. And
Yeah,
you got some big
This is like
hands on me.
25. Hell yeah. This is like 25% bigger. These are Smirnoff Ice Smashes. Adrian, as he said, has the peach mango. I have the blue raspberry cherry citrus, also known as the red, white, and berry. What are you drinking over there, Linz?
I feel like I would like the red, white, and berry, but I also hate
I'm really
cherry.
excited for it. What are you drinking over there, dude?
So, wow. I have my passion fruit truly because I haven't gotten any other cans since the last time we recorded.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to wow, this is so fucking hard. Welcome back to another episode of Crack Open. Wow, there was no carbonation in that.
Hang on. Wow.
There's like no what the
Nothing.
fuck?
I didn't have any carbonation either, to be fair.
Wow,
I
that
think
is
we're cursed today.
overwhelmingly cherry.
Yeah,
Where's
I
the
would
other
like it then.
flavors?
Huh. Okay, so like my tongue just went through like a whole thing like, oh, that's the peach. Oh wait, that's the mango. Oh, why is it sour now?
You just got put on a roller coaster, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, I really thought I would like this one, and I'm.
Do you want to trade?
No, because I got the
Try
peach
again.
mango for
You need to do like a full.
Yeah, hold on. Let
We
me
need
get
to do like a sommelier kind of tasting
Yeah,
here.
Have you ever seen
me
that like
spin it a
ice
little bit.
the ice cream taste tester? Like the
Okay, I got a little bit of the citrus that time, but I'm a big blue raspberry boy, and I'm not catching any raz. Adrian just went through like 6 facial expressions in 1 second, dude.
So the viewers can't see it, but last time we didn't have this lovely feature. We now, since I'm not physically there to record with them, we set it up so that we have cameras so that we can
Like,
basically
see
each
FaceTime
other,
the whole
yeah.
time we're recording and see each other's reactions. And yeah, Adrian just went through
A
a lot of
roller
faces.
coaster.
bro. I don't know if I like that or
Can,
not.
can you hit it one more time for me?
Hang on.
Process every bit of it. Yeah, no, he's going through. Give me like here. Cheers.
Yeah, sure.
We're both gonna just here we go.
Yeah, you are not nearly as expressive as him.
No, because mine's just kind of disappointing if I'm being honest.
All right, look, just taste it.
All right, here we'll trade real quick.
Yeah.
It's the closest thing we're gonna get
Sure,
to a
sure.
kiss.
We need to decide if they're going to be one of our favorite sponsors.
Yeah, right.
He went through all the faces.
Yeah, see, it's weird.
Man, did I get another hit off
You
this?
could take it. Like it tastes good, but also it doesn't.
Man, it is exactly what you
You're
said.
actually making like a.
It is exactly what he said.
You,
You get hit with the mango, then with the peach directly after, and then why does it become sour?
No idea.
Where did that come
I know, you
from?
can see the sour face so distinctly after the. Ooh, this is mango taste.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, because the mango's like, that's pleasant. The peaches, ooh, that's some good
No, the
peach.
peach is great.
That's some good peach. And then it's sour. Vodka isn't sour.
Yeah, I have no idea if I like this or not. I'm gonna drink the whole thing, but
Also, these things are enormous. Like I said, they're also 8%.
yeah, no, we're gonna get fucked up.
We're gonna get sloshed, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Lindsay, prepare yourself. Because you're gonna be stone cold sober by the end of this one. Now,
Apparently.
All
now
right. So
past that,
yeah.
buckle up, ladies and gents, because I have a lot of information on this episode. I am doing a little series here of 3 mysteries in media that
Okay.
popped up. Now, I want to be clear. This is not a rapid fire minor cryptid episode. It's the same format. It's the same format, with just 3 shorter topics, right? But as I said on the last minor cryptids episode, the next one I do will include a cryptid that I made up, and you have to
Okay.
guess which one's real.
See, that's what I was waiting. That's what I was
hate it when
hoping
you do
for.
this.
Now, this one, these are all real. These are all real mysteries or conspiracies within media. I did not make any of these up. I swear to fucking God.
Okay.
But today, I had a lot of fun researching this one because I have a little theme, not just the media mysteries, but we're going to have a 3-course meal in media mysteries. You see, we're going to start with an appetizer that I've named Joystick Jerky. We're following that up with our main course, the Melody Medley. Followed by that is our dessert course of either angel food cake or devil's food cake. You'll get to decide.
Okay. I'm excited for this.
So the appetizer, of course, our Joystick Jerky, aka the Impossible Algorithm.
You had a lot of time to come up with these names.
I had a lot of time. I had a lot of fun researching these ones, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. So in
I
1982,
mean, he also worked in the restaurant industry, so
Oh,
I feel
that's
like
true.
he's got a bit of a...
By the way, Tyler, I didn't tell
Little
you
edge.
this. I didn't tell you this, but I went to the Chili's that you used to work at.
I hear it's gone downhill.
Yeah, no, I don't know who you have to talk to. But I was going to text you because I really wanted to know, like, do you think that they would give me a discount if I just, like, bring your name up?
No, they might
Fuck.
charge you more.
God damn it.
So in 1982, so, like 3 years after Lindsay was born, is that correct?
Yeah, give or take. Like a few months.
A game called Entombed was released on the Atari 2600. Have any of you even seen an Atari 2600?
Yeah, I used to own one.
You used to own one.
Not in person.
It's a piece of shit, right?
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Exactly. So this game, Entombed, on the 2600, not released on any other system, was created by a man named Tom Sloper, and the head programmer was Stephen Sidley. The game, much like many others from the era, was wildly simple. Games didn't really have huge plots or open worlds or mechanics. They were very, very simple. For example, in 1982, the pinnacle of gaming was Donkey Kong Jr., where you climbed a vine, and Dig Dug, where you digged and dugged.
Well, you also like inflated all these tiny dinosaurs.
You also
and,
kickstarted
made
a bunch
pop.
of inflation fetishes. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
correct.
I used to play that all the time.
Yeah?
Oh,
yeah.
so wait. So, how's your inflation fetish going for now?
It's pretty good.
I hated that. So, in Entombed, the players merely had to traverse a maze while avoiding enemies. The player can only move forwards and side to side. If they hit an enemy or a dead end, that's a game over. That's the entire game. So, on the surface, pretty fucking simple. But once you start to dig a little deeper, shit gets crazy. Keep in mind, again, Donkey Kong Jr., Dig Dug. Games are not complicated right now. But the Atari 2600, unlike its Nintendo counterpart, was not a very powerful system. It was good enough, and that was all they needed. The system itself used cartridges, much like others of the time, and those cartridges held a staggering 4 kilobytes of data each.
How futuristic.
Keep that in mind. 4 kilos, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's wild is that if you took any one maze from Entombed, extracted it from the cartridge, and looked at the file size, they were always bigger than 4 kilobytes.
Huh.
So how were these stored on the cartridge?
I'm assuming it's some sort of compression.
It's not, because they couldn't do that yet on these
Oh.
cartridges. What is wild about it is that if you looked at the cartridge and tried to find the mazes within the cartridge, they took up 0 bytes of data. The mazes do not exist within the cartridge, but if you remove it, it suddenly is it has like a weight to it, right? That's because all of these mazes were randomly generated by a special algorithm that could not ever be wrong. There is no single maze in Entombed that cannot be solved. The only thing on the cartridge is the onboard algorithm that will randomly generate a new maze every time you boot the game.
Okay.
Which did not exist at the time. We still can barely do that. Because we don't actually have true random generation. We have procedural generation.
Yeah.
Things that
I
have
was going
certain
to say this
weights
sounds
and
like
seeds.
procedural generation to us.
Yeah, but this wasn't procedural. This was random, but it always had a solve. So how was all this possible on the 2600 back in 1982? Right?
Yeah, no, I have no idea. That's insane.
Well, if you're looking to figure that out, the first person you'd probably contact is the game's programmer, right? As a reminder, that is Stephen Sidley. Unfortunately, when interviewed on the topic, Sidley claimed that the algorithm was not written by him. Instead, it was given to him by another programmer who went unnamed due to privacy reasons. According to Sidley, this programmer claims that the one night that he started writing code, he was drunk and, quote, whacked out of his brain. So this dude, this programmer, sat down, just fucking sloshed, implied crossfaded, started writing some code, woke up the next morning and went, well, that's a random maze generator. That's pretty fucking cool. I'm going to send that in. I did my job. Let's get my paycheck.
That's awesome.
Sidley himself attempted to decipher the code and reverse engineer it, but even he admits he could not figure it out. He does not know how it works. The original programmer does not know how it works because he was sloshed out of his mind. To this day, no one 100% knows how that algorithm worked. We have an idea of how it worked, but this is a common thing apparently for game designers and programmers to look into to figure out how the fuck did this guy do that? And I love the fact that he did it by being absolutely schmahoggened.
So let me get this straight. And I'm trying to channel my predecessor here when I say this. he programmed something he didn't understand.
Yeah.
But isn't that just programming?
But he can't reverse engineer it. He can't figure out how it works.
Okay.
Nobody can.
I'm gonna head this off at the pass and say someone's gonna say aliens.
I mean, well, probably not aliens. Maybe it's just like an interdimensional, like. Well, all right. So, have you read the comics for Invincible? Like,
No.
Okay, no. So in the comics, there's a character that like his parallel selves.
You said this is for Invincible, right?
Invincible.
Okay.
It's the
Amazon made a show on it.
The Amazon made a show on it, but there's a character in there that like he has multiple versions across different dimensions, and they all kind of communicate with each other.
Okay, so it's a King the Conqueror situation.
Exact. What if it's something like that?
It sounds like Wraith from Apex Legends.
Also,
But
yeah.
Well, yeah.
actually
It's
a lot
Wraith.
closer,
Yeah.
for sure.
Like maybe he just got so sloshed that he just what is it?
He
like,
transcended.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't even have an explanation of like some people say it's alien, some people say it's interdimensional bullshit. The dude just figured it out while zonked. That's it. And nobody knows how it works, and that just blows my fucking mind that this game that no one bought and no one played has one of the most impressive pieces of code from its era.
And you're saying that none of this is made up.
None of this is made up. That's a real fucking game. Entombed on the Atari 2600, released in 1982.
That's fucking crazy.
That's wild, right?
Yeah.
did he make any other games after that?
Nothing like this. A lot of them still worked on other games, but that was because every video game of that era was made by the same like 18 people from around the world. Like 10 of which were Nintendo.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
feel like
that's
if I had any constitution and like alcohol intolerance, I would spend the rest of my life trying to recreate this exact moment if I were in his shoes. Like, I just made an amazing piece of code and I can't do it while sober again. So
Gotta get back in the same state of mind.
Gotta get back. Gotta do it all over
State
again.
dependent memory. It's how you remember a blackout.
No, but I could kind of see this dude doing this. Like, I remember the first time I played through Bloodborne, I couldn't get through Rom the Vacuous Spider.
Rom, some call him Roma.
Yeah, fuck that thing. And then, like, I just remembered I got crossfaded one night and just beat the
I
shit out
remember
of
you
him.
told me about that. You sent me a picture. You're like, I did it.
Yeah, I did.
All lowercase, weird spacing. You're just, I did it.
Yeah.
So did you enjoy our appetizer, our joystick jerky appetizer?
It's very interesting.
It's just kind of a weird one, right? There's no real solve to it. Now, it is time to move on to our main course, and I'll be honest with you, Lindsay. Adrian has had a taste of this main course before, and I know it's one of his favorites.
Is it anal?
His second favorite.
Oh.
This is our melody medley.
Look,
AK, what? Yeah? Go on.
I was gonna say, do I need to turn the cameras off?
Not yet. Wait till
no.
the break.
Okay.
So our main course, as I said, is the melody medley, aka the Beatles never broke up.
Oh my god, I love this thing.
I know you do. Have you ever
Oh.
heard of this story, Lindsay?
I feel like I've heard it in passing, but no one's ever really said it to me before.
Explain it. So again, this is our main
Mhm.
course. This is going to be our biggest chunk.
Well, first
Here.
off, how much do you know about the Beatles?
Yeah, are you a Beatles fan?
I'm a Beatles fan. I mean, my dad, I was kind of raised on classic rock, and he
Okay.
was a big Rolling Stones and Beatles guy, so like
Okay.
I know a decent amount.
Okay. Adrian, you're a decent Beatles fan, right?
Huge Beatles fan.
Yeah.
Listen to them all my life. Wanted to be Paul McCartney for the longest.
So let's rewind our brains a little bit. You know, we're gonna go back in time. It's contemporary. It's the year 2009. See, it's 2009. James Cameron's Avatar was just announced. It's coming out in December. That movie looks fucking crazy. Can't wait to see that. But, you know, in the meantime, to hold ourselves over, we're all sitting down playing Assassin's Creed 2, being like, damn, Ezio is way cooler than Altair. This is fucking great. And quick aside from the bit here. When I was trying to write this little section here, I was like, what was going on in like media at the time? You know, like, there wasn't a lot in movies. The best I had was Avatar there. But holy shit, I don't know if you're aware of this. Games in 2009 were fucking popping.
I know. Yeah.
Let me read you a couple off here. We got Dragon Age Origins. We got Assassin's Creed 2, as I mentioned before. We got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. We have Infamous, Batman Arkham Asylum, The First Borderlands, League of Legends, Uncharted 2. Are you fucking kidding me?
League came out in 2009.
In 2009. That's apparently when League came out. So many fucking games came out in 2000 goddamn 9.
No, yeah, I knew that because I have a distinct memory of going to watch Avatar and passing a GameStop. Because it's like on the way from Victoria Gardens.
Mhm.
Like you have to walk past GameStop.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the first time I ever saw a poster of Assassin's Creed 2.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, it was like Assassin's Creed 2. We got Batman.
Yeah.
Fucking. There was another huge game that came out in 2009 that I can't think of right now. But yeah, no, games were insane.
Dude, 2009 was popping. All right, so back to the bit. A man by the name of James Richards claims that on September 9th, 2009, he came into the possession of a cassette tape with an entire new album written and performed by the Beatles.
Well, do you know how he got that?
Oh, I'm going to get into it.
Okay.
And be aware, this is in 2009, which is nearly 40 years after the band broke up.
Yeah.
Richards lived in Livermore, Northern California, with his dog. For a few days before the events unfolded, he and his good boy were visiting a friend out in the city of Turlock, which is about 65 miles east of his home. On their drive home, Richards decided to take the scenic route and drive to the Del Puerto Canyon area, just for fun, because it's a nice place. Around 2 p.m., his dog was acting like nature was calling, so they pulled over to let him out at the nearest available parking area. Richard started stretching, taking his eyes off of his fuzzy companion, until he heard some barking. His dog had taken off, chasing a rabbit about 30 to 40 yards away from him. This forced Richards to also give chase. Unfortunately, he ran into an uneven patch of ground, tripped, and knocked himself out fucking cold. When he wakes up, he's in a small house with bandages on his head. This was odd, considering that the area that he ate shit in was a very rural area with no real civilization nearby. Especially homes filled with unusual tech like these ones. He could even hear traffic outside. Soon he was greeted by a man who Richards described as, quote, well-dressed, but with a greasy vibe, if you know what I mean. Which, I do know what he means.
I mean, do you?
Yeah, like a well-dressed dude, but you're like, he's kind of greasy.
I mean,
Like sleazy greasy, or like physically you can
Like,
see him shine greasy?
I'm thinking he's a sleazeball. That's what I'm imagining.
Okay.
See, yeah, that's what I'm
Sure,
thinking.
okay.
Yeah. The man introduced himself as Jonas and made sure Richards was doing all right. He retrieved Richards and his dog, who was now also present in the room. Richards asks Jonas, "Where am I?" To which Jonas responds, "About 20 feet from where I found you." He then warned the confused Richards that what he was about to say was going to sound absolutely insane, and if anyone told this to him, he wouldn't have believed it if he hadn't been living it. Jonas explains that he had brought Richards through a portal into a parallel version of Earth. In his world, the government decided to invest into multiversal travel through a program called the ARP-D, rather than what our government did in the 1950s when we invested in space travel and NASA. These machines worked and are now very common to own and use. They're very expensive, though. But Jonas's job was to research worlds that were currently uncharted, which he claimed could be a very dangerous profession due to abnormalities with world generation, for lack of a better term. For example, he mentioned people could go to an Earth that didn't have an atmosphere, so you just suffocate and die. Or you can appear on an ocean version of Earth, so you're underwater and you can't really reopen a portal because your machine's fried. It could be just molten and you're just lighting on fire and die. But most worlds, he claimed, were overgrown with vegetation, never touched by humankind because humans never evolved on this form of Earth. Some of them had different civilizations, much like ours or his, and there were even programs in place in his universe to pay, the people would pay to get a new identity, teleported to a new version of a civilized Earth, and live out their lives there instead. So there's all kinds of fucking background that this Jones dude is telling him about. How you doing over there, Lindsay? You keeping up?
I feel like the first thought I heard was Jonas. So not only do we have like the Beatles as a band, but like Joe Jonas from another multiverse is the one involved
Well,
here.
he did go to the year 3000.
No.
Not much has changed, except they lived
They lived
underwater.
underwater.
Oh, and your great-great-great-granddaughter?
She's pretty fine.
She's doing fine.
No, she's pretty fine.
I listened to the Disney Channel edit.
Oh, well, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I was actually listening to that like last night.
Dude, can I be real with you? Sucker for You fucking slaps.
Bro, okay. The Jonas Brothers are kind of good.
They kind of bop. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they kind of bop.
Yeah. Like Burning Up, kind of a banger.
Kind of a banger. I even liked the I forget which Jonas it was, but the Cake by the Ocean.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yes, I was just gonna say that. I love that song.
Also
I
a
love
bop.
that song, dude.
Also a fucking bop, dude. Who knew?
Yeah, I know. I feel so bad for shitting on them as much as I did back in the day.
Yeah, because it was easy and fun.
Yeah.
But they kind of be turning out bangers.
Yeah.
So back to Parallel Earth. On Jonas's Earth, many events from our history played out differently. Cultures, empires, food, movies, games, music. Jonas and Richards talked about plenty of this, but turned out to both be huge fucking music nerds, much like our resident Adrian.
Yeah. Guilty.
So Jonas decided, hey, Richards, come over here and check out my cassette rack, which was another divergence, by the way. Be aware, this is 2009. The CD and the DVD already exist in 2009 in our world. Apparently, they never caught on in Jonas's world, so they were all still on cassettes.
That sounds like a euphemism.
Yeah, explain that.
Come check out my cassette rack.
Wink. You forgot the wink.
Wink.
That's what makes it
Sorry,
a
yes.
euphemism. Yeah, and so they fucked.
As you do.
As you do. Now, Richard saw plenty of tapes from bands that never existed in our timeline, staples that were slightly altered, and specifically a Beatles album by the name of Everyday Chemistry, which for non-Beatles fans is not a real Beatles album.
Yep.
That never existed. Now, when pressed on this, Jonas said that he got this tape bootlegged from a girl in high school who gave it to him because she really just wanted him to listen to her favorite band. Sounds to me like she wanted to see Jonas's cassette rack. Wink.
Also, what a fake fucking Beatles fan. You're going to bootleg a copy of one of their albums?
Well, they're in high school.
Okay, but still, like, Beatles albums are brand new.
You never had a mixtape?
Well, I did, but, like, he had a full... All right. I'm just saying, like, if this girl was really a fan, like, don't bootleg it, just give him a copy. It's probably like $10 or something.
Yeah, but in high school, that's like $1,000.
Well, I guess.
Now, Richards, upon hearing this and loving it, asked Jonas for a copy of the tape as well, which made Jonas get very, very serious all of a sudden. He told Richards that it was forbidden from taking anything back. No pictures, no items, no souvenirs, fucking nothing. Richards agreed to his terms, a bit frightened. But when Jonas left the room to go take a phone call, Richards fucking yoinked to the tape anyway, went back home, and uploaded it all on the internet.
Yeah, it's an actual thing that you could, like, look up and listen to.
If you go to thebeatlesneverbroakeup.com, you can listen to the tape that he uploaded with a full track list, including songs such as Four Guys, Sick to Death, Over the Ocean, and my personal favorite, Mr. Gator's Swamp Jamboree.
Yeah. See,
Okay, we need to hold on.
You can look it up right now. You can
I-
listen to it.
Lindsay, I know. Four Guys is a weird name for a song.
I'm not doubting that part. I'm not doubting that part. But one, is it sound like them?
Yes, it
Lindsay,
kind of does.
You're on your computer. TheBeatlesNeverBrokeUp.com. Go to it.
No, but like legitimately. All right, so like here's the thing. It's all bullshit.
Well, hold on. We'll get there. Go to the website and listen to Mr. Gator's Swamp Jamboree. It's the last track.
No, but like actually like the voices do sound like the Beatles.
Let her listen to it.
Sure.
And I assume
Let
we
me
won't get
Mr.
copyright
Gator's
strike if
Swamp
I put a bit
Jamboree,
in
I
this.
found it.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not going to show up on the recording.
Right, because it's not... Well, I mean, like if I add a little bit for the viewers.
Well, I mean, all right. So like if you do add a little bit, we probably won't get copyright strike unless it's like an actual artist that just put out the song and this guy's like,
Oh, yeah,
you know
maybe.
what? That kind of sounds like John Lennon. That kind of sounds like Paul McCartney.
Tell me, Lindsay, does that not sound like the Beatles to you?
They haven't started singing yet.
Let's skip ahead a
I
little bit.
can hear the guitar and like the bop. I can see it sounding like it for sure.
And see, the name
where's
kind
the
of sounds
vocals?
like the name kind of sounds like something that they would write.
Yeah, and
It's
it's
like-
called Mr. Gator Swamp Jamboree, and I don't think we're
Yeah.
talking about that enough. It's called Mr. Gator's Swamp
I mean, it's a
Jamboree.
bop.
Yeah.
Dude, they're all bops. Like, straight up, they're all bops. Now, this is considered a hoax, this entire thing.
Oh, it's
Can you
bullshit.
believe it? Multiversal travel doesn't exist? How crazy. But it did take years to figure this out, right? Many audio engineers around the world have deduced that these songs are just expertly stitched together from prior Beatles songs, unreleased albums, interviews, just sound bites of the Beatles, making the story false. But when you think about it, the album is kind of real. They
Yeah.
are new songs that the Beatles never released and never wrote and never made. And it is actually the Beatles singing it, if not intentionally. Even the instrumentals are actually the Beatles stitched together by an expert audio engineer.
All right, so here's the thing. Some of those songs, while it does sound like them, is not them. And well, you could tell
No,
certain songs.
It is sound bites. It might not sound like them, but it is all audio from the Beatles.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's all audio from the Beatles just stitched together. And what you're hearing is it's been processed and changed to make them say maybe like a different word, taking
Oh, okay.
syllables from here or
Okay,
there.
I could see
But
that.
it is the Beatles.
It's very interesting. It's one of my favorite like things ever because it's so fucking ridiculous.
It's fucking crazy, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but it's bullshit.
I mean, but it's not complete bullshit because it
No.
is a new Beatles
I
album.
could see how someone could like look at this and think it's real.
Right? Totally. I mean, when you read the story, you're like,
The one I
"Alright."
just listened to.
Which was?
I just listened to I'm Just Sitting Here.
Mhm.
And to
Also
me,
an accurate depiction of
that-
what you're doing.
Yes, true. In my chair. The soundbite, like I got to the vocalist and I was like, this very clearly to me sounds like a bunch of sound bites put together. Very well done.
Some of them are kind
but,
of rough
like-
compared to the others, for sure. Yeah.
There are some that are literally just like a piece from Yellow Submarine, a piece from
Yeah.
Sgt. Pepper or whatever, and just stuck together. But yeah, the songs that like aren't popular, I mean, it's interesting.
I think it's a cool one. I love this one because if you're still on the website, Lindsay, you can actually go to the story section. I left out a lot of information.
Oh,
This
yeah.
dude went fucking hard on telling the story, and there's a lot of things that he adds in where it's like, that sounds real. But there is one bit that makes me kind of cringe a little bit, where he says that when they were having breakfast, the weirdest thing to him was the purple ketchup.
Is that the weirdest? I'm pretty sure I've had purple ketchup as a kid.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm like, there is purple ketchup. That's been
Yeah.
a thing. It was like a novelty. But it's just very fucking funny to me that he's like, that thing that's red because the fruit it's made from is red. In this universe, it's purple. That's so fucking stupid to me that he would add that in. Most of it is very like believable. Like, yeah, that sounds kind of real. When you ignore the multiversal travel thing. But the purple ketchup is like, dude, you're reaching a little bit on that one.
Yeah.
Have you ever had banana ketchup?
Never.
Ooh,
Have you ever heard of banana ketchup?
no.
So I believe it originates from Southeast Asia. Tomatoes cannot grow there. Like the climate just doesn't allow for tomatoes to grow. But the thing about ketchup is ketchup does not actually taste like tomatoes.
No.
Like your brain makes you think that there's a tomatoey taste in it because it's made from tomatoes. But banana ketchup tastes exactly the same as our tomato ketchup, but it's yellow. It's like a pale banana yellow. It is a real thing, and
mean-
it tastes exactly the same.
I'm gonna order some.
Isn't ketchup like mostly sugar anyway?
It's mostly sugar. I actually buy no sugar
Yeah.
added ketchup now because like I want the tomatoiness of real ketchup. But yeah, if you want to try like good ketchup, just get the no sugar added ketchup. It's quite good.
All right, dude. Banana ketchup. I got like a 3-pack for $25. Do you want to go halfsies?
Well, I mean, I've had it already, so I'm cool. Oh, those ones are dyed red-ish though, to not be as weird.
And I'm assuming that you're talking about the Baron.
Yeah, that looks closer to what I had. When I
Okay.
was growing up as a kid, my neighbors were from the Philippines, and so they had a bunch of just like stuff from the Philippines, basically. And that was one of them. I remember I went over there once because they invited us over for dinner. We were like, "Oh, this will be great." They had an entire fucking pig, like roast pig, sitting on the table, and I remember
spit roast, yeah.
I remember as a kid just being like, "That's fucking terrifying. I'm out of here," and I ran home.
Oh, no. I mean, it does. Even now, that makes me uncomfy. I like.
It's pretty.
I'm
uncomfy.
not even a big pork person in general. Like, I'll
Same.
eat bacon, but I don't like pork and all that stuff. But like,
I could have said the exact same fucking thing. I'm right there with you, dude. Mind melded.
yeah.
Yeah, if people
So
don't know,
it's
by
just
the way,
like-
Lindsay and I have a special psychic mind melding connection.
Yeah.
If you ever seen Pacific Rim, we are drift compatible.
Oh wow.
We are super same brain a lot of the time.
All right. So update on this peach mango.
Yeah, how's it doing?
I kind of like it.
Okay, that's good.
Like it's one of those things once you get used to the sour taste, the peach and mango just
It's kinda
become
jamming.
that much more satisfying.
I'm still a little disappointed with mine, if I'm being honest.
By the way, is this the only alcohol you brought? I'm
Oh,
asking.
my God, I have two more. For the next
Okay.
video, I have a blue raspberry blackberry, which I'm gonna give that one to you because now I'm disappointed with the one that had raspberry initially.
Sure,
And then I'll be drinking a strawberry lemon one.
you can have that one.
Hell yeah.
No,
Might
no.
as
Well,
have
reason
two.
I ask is in case so I know if I should finish this or not.
Well, see, that was the fear that we would finish both of them.
Well,
So are you fine, ladies and gents, ready to move on to dessert?
please.
Yes, please.
So of course this is the angel or devil food cake, aka the curse of the Passion of the Christ.
Okay.
Have you seen the film Passion of the Christ?
Unfortunately.
I've never sat down and watched it, but of course I've
Really,
saw
Lindsay?
the controversy.
Really,
and-
Lindsay?
yeah.
You, the most godly of the three of us?
Bro, they made me watch
You
that when I
know-
was 8.
That's fucking horrifying.
Oh my god.
So Passion of the
Yeah,
Christ,
what
if you
the
don't
hell?
know, is a
Bro,
retelling.
I got some very religious parents, let me tell you.
Dude, here's the thing. My parents never made me watch it.
No?
Like I've seen it because, it was wildly popular. But the story of the Passion of the Christ is a retelling of the biblical story of the crucifixion of Jesus of Nazareth.
Mm-hmm.
Except it is through the fucking hellscape of Mel Gibson's brain and with the added sprinkle of torture porn.
It's basically torture porn.
Here's the thing. You could say the sentence one more time, but
It's
take
torture
basically
porn.
out.
Yeah, it's torture porn.
It is torture porn. It's fucking nutso.
Yeah, but people are like, oh no, but it's supposed to be like rough to watch
Yeah,
so
it's
that you know that
Jesus went through this.
Yeah.
It's so fucking stupid. Now, the movie had a budget of $30 million and a box office value of $612 million worldwide, making The Passion of the Christ one of, if not the most popular religious film ever made.
I think it's still the #1 R-rated movie of all time.
Deadpool didn't beat it?
Deadpool didn't beat
Seriously?
it.
That's
Yeah.
surprising.
Well, no, because in Deadpool 2, he's like, oh yeah, so Jesus,
Right.
us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Good bit.
I didn't know that's what that was referencing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's referencing Passion of the Christ. I forgot that bit.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. Lindsay, you did mention that there were some controversies around the film. I'm not fucking talking about the controversies around the film. The controversies around the film are warranted. What I'm talking about is the fucking curse that was the production of this movie. First and foremost, most people who've heard of this film's curse have heard about Jim Caviezel, who is the man who played Jesus of Nazareth, and his injuries that he suffered on set. Now, on 3 separate, isolated occasions, Jim Caviezel was struck by lightning while shooting the film. Three times this dude got struck by fucking lightning.
Yeah. Well,
I'm looking. How do you spell his last name?
it's Caviezel.
AL.
EL.
Is it? Oh,
Yep.
I wrote AL in my
Yeah.
entire outline. Whoops.
Trust me.
I want the Lichtenberg scars to prove it. I don't believe this for a second.
It's on film. Like, everyone on the crew is like, yeah, no, dude got fucking struck by lightning 3 goddamn times.
I mean, some people would take that as a sign, especially like, people who believe in a higher power.
Exactly, right? Now, besides him being shot or struck by lightning, which by the way, one of them happened during like the crucifixion scene, like where he was on the cross. Beyond that, though, Jesus in the actual story in the Bible was whipped multiple times before bearing his cross. Ooh, man, that is making me burpy. He was whipped multiple times. I believe it was 29 plus 1 because it was illegal to whip anybody 30 times or more. So they whipped him 29 times and then gave him a second sentence of being whipped once. He was whipped with a cat of nine tails type of whip, which if you don't know is a whip that when it cracks, the end of it is actually 9 different whips that have things like shards of glass, ceramics, metal tacks, all laced into it. So it is meant to flay you alive when you get whipped with it.
Yeah, well, it like digs in your skin and then
And rips it out.
Yeah,
it
no,
literally flays you alive.
That's an image that's still stuck. That's stuck with me 20 years later.
That scene is horrifying.
Yeah.
It is one of the most disgusting forms of torture like in history. The cat of nine tails was horrible because it was designed to keep you alive but put you in the most pain imaginable. When they were shooting this scene, essentially how they had it was Jim Caviezel playing Jesus was positioned in front of the camera. Behind him was a board that was removed in post or just hidden by camera tricks. And then the man with the whip, the Roman with the whip, was behind that. And he was actually whipping the board, but then Caviezel would react when he heard the noise, right? To make it seem like he was the one being whipped. They used makeup and such to make him look like he was being whipped. Except no, they fucking didn't just use makeup because Caviezel was actually struck by the whip.
Yeesh.
The whip went...
I just read that. I Googled because I was looking at him.
It went around the board and actually fucking struck him in the back. So Caviezel, right, was hit by the whip. And upon being hit by the whip, he, pardon my pun here, he whipped around to look at the man playing the Roman whipping him. And as I said before, Lindsay, you are the most godly of the three of us, clearly. So I would like you to play the role of Jim Caviezel playing Jesus Christ playing Jim Caviezel. And please read this quote I sent you here, which he said to the man who whipped him.
Okay, yeah. The whip just extended over the board and hit me with such a velocity that I couldn't breathe. It's like getting the wind knocked out of you. The stinging is so horrific that you can't get air. I turned around and I looked at the guy, and I tell you, I may be playing Jesus, but I felt like Satan at that moment. I turned up to him, a couple of expletives came out of my mouth. Yeah, I would imagine.
Dude, I feel him.
Yeah.
I feel him on that. Like, how could you not turn around and be like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, that's terrible. That is terrible.
Which, by the way, so I was 8 when I first saw it. I've seen that movie probably more than I've seen any other movie besides Pulp Fiction. Honestly.
Are you fucking serious? Why?
Because my dad. All right, so my dad is very religious. He owns a studio, like a recording studio, where he just films like religious music and shit. And he would have that playing in the lobby.
That's a horrible way to get customers.
And like
horrible lobby, yeah.
Yeah, and so like, you know, like I would chill in the studio. I would be on my Game Boy and then I would look up and like see this man being like whipped.
That's terrible.
So
That's fucking
Yeah,
terrible.
no, it was terrible. But like I physically like still cringed. Like while you were telling that story of like him getting whipped, I was still I still to this day physically cringe at the sight of that.
Well, because it is just goddamn horrifying, the scene.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to see any scene from the movie, Lindsay, look that one up just to be like, why the fuck did they shoot this the way that they did?
I think that's also why I'm so afraid of babies, because in that same scene, there's like the devil or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's being carried by like, or I don't know if the baby was the devil, or if like it was the devil holding a devil baby.
I think it's the latter.
Is that
I think it's
what
the
it is?
latter.
I
can
don't know.
conjure the image in my head a little bit.
Yeah, but it's fucking freaky. Look up the scene, Lindsay.
He's getting whipped while there's a weird devil baby in the background?
Yeah, you see it. That's like
weird.
Yeah, you see a walk amongst like the crowd of people. It's fucking bizarre, but it's fucking freaky, especially like when you're 8 years old. Like I think at the time I was more scared of the baby than I was of the man getting whipped.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
But like the dude actually got whipped. Hearing his description of it, I feel like is almost underplaying it too. Have you ever had the wind knocked out of you?
Yes.
Oh, it's miserable. I hate
It's
that.
miserable. The first time it happened to me, I was where I was living. We had in our yard there was like a slope. It was rainy the last night, and I was running around. I must have been like 8 or 9. I slipped while running up or like past the hill, and then slipped to the point where I flew down the hill, landed on the back, and had the wind knocked out of me. And my only thought, it's like a 9-year-old kid, was, "This is it. I'm dead. I have died.
Bye.
Like everything's about to
I've
turn dark,
ascended into
and I will die." And my dad, who saw me through the window do that, ran out and was like, "You're okay? You had the wind knocked out of you. You're not gonna die." And I was like, and in my head, I'm like, "How do you know?"
That actually the last time probably I got the wind knocked out of me is I was in high school, and my mom asked me to go get the mail, and we were on the second floor of a condo, like we were the top floor.
Okay.
And I had just bought new flip-flops, and they weren't scuffed on the bottom, so on the tile floor of our foyer, like I just slid off the ground and I landed on my tailbone directly, and then fell backwards. And I was in excruciating pain.
That's the double
and,
whammy.
Like, could not breathe.
Because you can't talk. You're just like,
yeah, no. And the worst part was, my mom was blow drying her hair on the other side of the house, and she couldn't hear me. I couldn't even like bang on the wall. Like, I am incapable of moving. So I crawled from the foyer to the entryway to her bathroom, like pointing at my ass because I was in pain.
"Hey mom,
and,
check
like,
this dump truck
breathe.
out."
I had to sit on like a Tempur-Pedic pillow for 2 days.
I believe
my
that.
God,
I
that's
believe
terrible.
that.
I can't remember the last time I got the wind knocked out of me. I can remember the last time I got knocked out.
When was that?
So it was the last time I ever played soccer.
Not surprising.
No, back when
Your
I was
Spanish played soccer and got knocked out. I can fill in the blank.
my
Dude.
God.
no, like you know how like most soccer players, like they get tapped on the shoulder and they go down.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't like that. Like, all right, so it was back when I was like super fit, and I had a group of friends, and like it was like my group of friends, their brothers, and it was just a whole bunch of us playing. But there was one dude, this big ass, like this guy was like 3 times my size. So I was a really good defender. You know, ball would come over here. My only job would be like, all right, kick it to the other side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
I could do that. Really good at it for a while. Well, there was one time where like the ball was coming fast. I was going to get to it first, obviously, because, you know, it was coming fast towards me. It's like I did. I went up there, kicked it back. I look up, and this dude is just barreling at me.
Hits you like a brick shit house.
It literally just like fucking hits me. And I remember I flew. And I
Jesus.
did get the wind knocked out of me, but also just got knocked out. Next thing like the only thing I remember was like everything went black. My eyes were still open. I remember that, but everything went black. And then like when I came back to consciousness, I was laying on a park table. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been knocked out or passed out. I've gotten close,
have
but I like
passed
whipped
out.
myself back into consciousnness.
I have passed out, but never due to an injury.
Okay. What'd you do?
It's usually like a blood loss thing, or
okay.
okay. I had blood taken and they sucked at it, so they took too much, and then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna conk out now.
I feel like a tablespoon of blood would be too much for me, Lindsay. You are a gnome of a woman.
I am. Yeah, they took like 7 vials, and they still
What
didn't
the
get
fuck?
they
That's
needed,
like
and I'm
everything you
like,
have.
That
I'm
doesn't
gonna die now.
sound. That doesn't sound
I-
medically sound.
Yeah, there was questionable. I did probably almost pass out once. I was playing flag football in college, and we were gonna blitz the quarterback, but we didn't really do a good job of communicating what we were doing. So it was like something out of a fucking sitcom. I went left, he went right, the quarterback saw us coming and took a single step forward, and we bonked our heads together super hard. And I was like, I don't know how I stayed conscious, because I absolutely got slammed in the head. But yeah,
Damn.
no, didn't black out.
Speaking of getting absolutely slammed, blood loss and passing out and getting the wind knocked out of you.
Right, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right after Jim Caviezel got smacked by that whip, turned around, cursed out the guy behind him, they went back to filming the scene where he was promptly whipped a second time.
God.
Yeah, I know. That's
It
what
happened
I just
again.
read too.
It happened
It was
again.
an accident, quote unquote. But how do you keep fucking that up?
Well, here's the thing. You keep fucking up because they put him in a shitty position that he never should have been in. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
cannot
true.
control it. Someone who isn't like professionally using a whip cannot control a whip.
No, well, especially not one with 9 different ends.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, oh, so there's a piece of fucking plywood between you? What's he going to do when that plywood explodes splinters into him? Because that was my first thought. That's like composite board. That shit ain't holding up to a whip.
Also, if you have people who are good enough to composite out a board,
Just composite him in,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like, you can just have 2 separate scenes
yeah, 2 separate shots.
that you just put together. Fucking it drives me
Yeah,
nuts.
it's stupid.
Now, Jim Caviezel was not the only one on this set who was getting fucked up. John Michelini, Michelini, I think it's Michelini actually. John Michelini, who was the assistant director of the film, was nearby on one of the occasions when Caviezel was struck by lightning. It was the one where they were on the hill with the crosses, right after the crucifixion. So John witnessed Caviezel being struck by lightning, probably went, holy shit, that was fucking crazy. And literally 5 minutes later, Michelini himself was then struck by lightning.
Oh my blows my mind, dude.
You want a little more context for that?
Yeah, I do.
Please.
This was the second time Michelini was struck by lightning while filming this. So Caviezel got
Where
struck
did they
3
record
times.
the movie? Like, where were they filming?
I'm assuming in Israel.
I think it was on site, yeah. But yeah, so Caviezel was struck 3 times and whipped twice, and then Michelini was also struck by lightning 2 times. So my question to you is, was this angel food cake or devil food cake? Do you think the movie was cursed, or do you think God was trying to say, stop fucking around with this?
I think it was God. Like, all right, we all probably know the history of Mel Gibson by now.
Yeah, I really like when he called that female cop sugar tits.
Yeah.
That was my favorite one. Or when he threatened to kill his 14-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was pretty cool of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That guy's a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit. So God's probably like, no, you're not going to tell my story, dude. Go fuck yourself.
But I feel like
He's
he
also
would be
wildly
the one who would get
anti-Semitic.
zapped by lice.
Yeah,
lightning,
why
if
would
that were the
Caviezel
case.
Michelini bitch be struck? Mel
Yeah,
Gibson
like, why
should
are
be
they
fucking
getting
struck.
punished for Mel Gibson's crazy? Like,
Now-
I feel like that's.
Now, I believe the idea is that people who believe in God, wrong people.
Oh, sorry, me. I am clearly the most godly and saintly person on this podcast. Go ahead.
The woman wearing an Absolute Vodka
An
t-shirt.
Absolute t-shirt.
And while I can't
was
see it in
hoping
frame, I'm
someone
sure
would
you have a
pick it up.
pride flag somewhere.
Oh, do I ever?
There it
Yeah,
is. How many flannels are in your closet right now, Lindsay?
I counted the other day because someone asked me about this. I have 5 flannels in my closet.
That's
Well,
not enough.
That's
it's
shockingly low.
3 flannels and 3 like plaids, just not
How do I
Yeah,
have more
okay.
flannels than you?
I have about the same amount of flannels as you.
because I haven't gone shopping in a while.
And we're all lesbians.
Obviously.
Obviously. We're all into women,
the
so we
next
must be
time-
lesbians.
The next time I come back to California, I'll have to knight Adrian so he's like properly a lesbian.
That's true. Yeah, she
That's-
didn't knight you. I'm an honorary lesbian. Did you know that?
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Congrats.
I even used like a cat toy and made him get down on his knees.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
God.
did bend the knee.
I mean, it's not hard to get Tyler to be on his knees, to be fair.
I only bent a single
Yeah,
knee.
that's fair.
God. No, I mean, obviously, I don't believe in,
I don't think. To be clear, none of us believe in
do.
God.
But if there were a God, which by the way, I saw a meme the other day I meant to send you, like, what if God came down one day and was like, it's pronounced Jod, and then just went back up?
I've seen this. The answer is
He would
chaos.
He would end the GIF.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would have to
With
start
that-
calling him GIFs now, which I don't want to do.
Yeah, no. But like, if there were a God, that I'm pretty sure that would be a clear sign that he does not approve.
Want this to happen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's just so funny to me that it has to be this fucking movie,
Yeah.
right? Where all this shit happens. It's so goddamn funny. I still believe that like Caviezel must have like an iron rod in him somewhere.
He probably does. Whatever happened to that man? I've never seen him in any other movie.
That's because he made $1 billion basically, and then fell off the face of the earth. People say likely because if they were going to cast, it's like the idea of if you see Robert Downey Jr. in a film now, you're gonna be like, that's fucking Iron Man.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a character associated with him. Now, what if he played the Son of God?
I'd
I'm
watch.
gonna look up his IMDb though, because like I feel like I've seen him in something since then.
I'm pretty sure he hasn't.
He
been
did
in
not have
anything.
much of a career afterward, and a lot of people think it's because he peaked as being, you know, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I mean, but you would still cast him and stuff. Like he was good in the movie.
Yeah, but you also don't want to pay for his insurance.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
The dude's a
Wait,
lightning rod.
Whoa.
Yes.
The Passion of the Christ Resurrection pre-production Jesus?
Yeah, there's a Passion of the Christ too.
No, fuck.
Well,
and it's in
there is going to
pre-production
be.
right
Oh, going
now?
to, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck it could be about. The dude died.
Mel Gibson is playing. I mean, he is directing this one too, by the way.
Yeah, he's still wildly anti-Semitic.
Well, I don't know. Did you watch Passion of the Christ? At the very end of the movie, he clearly gets resurrected. That's what we in the industry call sequel baiting.
A sequel to The Passion of the Christ focus on the events that occurred 3 days between the crucifixion and resurrection, when Jesus Christ ascended to Abraham's bosom to preach and resurrect Old Testament saints.
See, if I were making a sequel,
Why would you sign up to play Jesus again?
I
Man,
mean,
get it together.
well, the
He's
first one,
really into being struck by lightning.
the first one has not been topped in 20 years. I understand why there is a sequel. However, if I was making the sequel, I would make it about how like Jesus went to hell for like 3 days and like took all those people out of it.
That's kind of debated.
It is, but it would make a great movie.
Yeah, it would be a good movie.
Yeah, can you imagine just Jesus in hell with like an AK-47?
I once went when I was still pretending to be Christian for the sake of my family, and my sister can attest to this. Our parents brought us to I think it was an Easter service where they were essentially doing like the crucifixion of Jesus, right?
Oh, is it the play that's in?
Yeah.
It's in Upland actually.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
they still run the play, and I don't know if the dude who's playing Jesus is still there, but I can only describe this man as gay rock star Jesus.
Yes,
Because I met the dude. He's gay as shit. I don't know how a church cast him as Jesus when the dude is flaming so hard that you can smell the smoke. Like, loved the guy. Great dude.
Great actor.
Hilarious to me that he's playing Jesus.
Yeah.
Wait, was he wearing like skin tight leather pants?
And a tasseled jacket.
Fucking, oh my god.
I loved this man when I met him. But there was a point in the play where, if you don't know the story, basically once Jesus was crucified, they wrapped him in bandages, put him within his tomb, and rolled a like 2-ton stone in front of the tomb, so that if he weren't dead, he wouldn't be able to get out by himself. 3 days pass. There's weeping, mourning, whatever. After the 3 days, the stone has been moved and the tomb was empty, and then Jesus had been resurrected. He presents himself to Mary later. He'd been resurrected. What they did in this play that I will never forget is on the 3rd day, a smoke machine went off. The lights started blasting all around, and this gay motherfucker kicks the stone down like he's kicking a door in, walks out and does the I'm King of the World Titanic pose while rock
Hell
music
yeah.
plays.
We've seen the exact same play. We might have been in the exact same crowd.
How incredible was that scene?
It's amazing.
Is it better that you know that the dude is one of the gayest dudes I've ever met?
I mean, yeah, I've never met the dude. I've only seen the play.
Oh my God, that was hilarious, dude. I remember I turned to my sister because we both knew neither of us believed in God at this point, and both of us were like, you could see in our face like, holy fucking shit, did you see that? That was badass.
That's the kind of energy I want to channel for the rest of my life.
Oh my God, I wish I got a photo of it.
And every time I think of like the story of the resurrection and stuff, I always think of that one it wasn't a Vine where it's like, it might have just been a GIF they pulled from a video. It's like, bitch, you thought I was dead or whatever. Like the chick sitting in the hospital bed. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm lost.
I have no idea.
Oh, I gotta look it up.
There's an old Mortal Kombat game, I forget which one, and I forget what the character is, but I just quote it constantly, where someone gets one of the characters gets thrown off a cliff and dies, but then the main guy comes back to fight the dude who just threw the girl off the cliff, and he goes, "What? Thought I was dead? Like my partner you just threw off a cliff?" The delivery is so much worse too, and I can't match how bad the delivery is.
Was it one of the PS2 games? I feel like
I think
was.
it was like
yeah.
I think it was like the remake of 3 or something.
No,
Was it not?
that sounds like Annihilation. Or
You know what?
like-
Annihilation sounds right.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm feeling the Smirnoff.
Oh,
I'm not
I
gonna
said
lie.
it's the I lived bitch meme.
Oh yes, yes,
Guy
yes,
in
yes,
the
yes, yes, yes,
hospital
yes.
bed, yes. It just makes me think of, Jesus Christ after he's resurrected.
What? Thought I died? Like my partner you crucified?